What's up, YouTube? Wildlion Games here, and today we've got some impressions on the Madden 21 closed beta. I was very lucky to receive a beta code and got to spend the weekend playing a few games. Shout out to the Jacksonville Jaguars Twitter for hooking me up. That was awesome. Thank you. As you guys know, I'm not a large YouTube channel. I don't really get early releases or codes like that. So I just happened to be right place, right time, and got randomly drawn on Twitter. So thanks to Jacksonville's Twitter. Unfortunately, I can't show any clips. They specifically stated no screenshots, no recording of any kind. I wanted to do it, but at the same time, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to, for multiple reasons, but mainly to respect the developers' wishes. They asked not to share anything, so I put myself in their shoes. If I was in the same boat, I would hope that people that have the code would respect that decision and do the same. I wish I could show y'all gameplay, but I can't. So what you're looking at here is just Madden 20. But without wasting any more time, let's just jump into it real quick with just some pros and cons. We'll start with the pros first, and that's graphics and more specifically the lighting. The game honestly looks incredible, absolutely incredible, and I'm sure. Obviously they're supposed to look better than the previous versions, but this is actually like a pretty big jump, and I think it all comes down to the lighting and the shading, and even just like the camera movements with the whole production looking more cinematic. It looks great. They really nailed it this time. The textures on the players, the stadium environment is top notch. So hats off to EA. I think they really did a great job this time around. The defensive lineman moves have had a bit of a change as well, and I think it's for the better. I like that you have more control over your control of the defensive line. What I mean by that is, how usually it's like, icon pops up and you have to tap X for a power move, or you tap A for, more of like an agile type of, whether it's a swim move or, he rips through to shut off the offensive line block. So now you actually have the player's entire repertoire of moves to be used at any time, but you only have a limited amount of uses. So I think that's a great gameplay addition. Adds a little bit more creativity to your liking. The running animations have been cleaned up for a bit. The ball carriers don't look as wonky, but it's still a little funky. But it's a noticeable improvement from last year. So honestly, those three things are really about it. To be frank, so let's jump in for the cons, and this is tough for me. My channel is pretty small, but my subscribers grew quite a bit after my Madden 16 honest review, and I haven't made a Madden review since then, as you guys have noticed. And it's just because the game's always been so disappointing, and I don't want to be a channel associated with only making negative reviews all the time. So I kind of stopped reviewing Madden because, I have EA access, so I'd hop on. I haven't bought Madden in years, but, they have like the whole 10-hour trial with their games. So, I'd hop on, I'd play for 10 hours, which I think is plenty of time to figure out whether a game is good or not. And I've been disappointed, so I haven't reviewed it. But anyway, I hop on the Madden 21 beta and was disappointed to find out it feels the exact same. Now, originally I was a little bit more cynical, to be honest, because I was playing, I was like, oh my God, I was like, this feels exactly like Madden 18. False. I was like, hey, well, let's prove it. So I jumped on Madden 18, and all it took was playing one drive and on offense, and I was like, it's not the same. It's improved. So it took one drive of playing Madden 18 for me to realize, like, okay, the gameplay has improved since then, thankfully, but not by a whole lot, to be honest. And really what it comes down to is, things look smoother. And the animations look better, but the issues that we had in Madden 16 are still there. They're just hidden better because of the better animations. And what I mean by these, defenders not being able to gang tackle a ball carrier, right? How, a defender kind of locks on and the other ones just kind of slide around them, or, we've all seen videos on this. Defenders taking horrible pursuit angles, or even better, I actually saw where my DB, it was the AI DB, changed his pursuit angle away from the running back and then went back to the right pursuit angle, thus allowing the running back to get more yardage, right? Stuff like that. The worst offense was when my AI controlled blitzing safety came crashing down. The offense did a halfback sweep, and the halfback was wide open in the backfield. And the DB he just brushed past the running back and kept going. Like, he didn't even attempt a tackle. Like, it was almost like the game forgot to trigger the tackle animation. I was shocked. Hopefully this is just like a beta mishap, but it was it was horrible. And then there was other plays that worked out in my favor that shouldn't have. And one of them I talked about in my last video, about how Madden shows us the exact same tackling animation with Aaron Rodgers and Joe Burrow. Do you guys remember that? If you go look at the gameplay deep dive trailer, there's a clip. I will show this now so you guys can see it because this is their trailer. I'm allowed to show it. But it's the same, they talk about how it's going to be, this dynamic tackling where, their system is looking at the angle of the quarterback, or like the angle of his arm throwing the ball and where he's getting hit by the defender, and that's going to change the trajectory of the ball. It's false. It's completely false. And this is where I wish I could show footage of the game, because the exact same tackle animation happened when I was playing with the Chiefs as Patrick Mahomes, and he got hit, and he threw the ball, and the two players fell exactly how you saw it in the trailer. I wasn't even rolling out. It was just a drop back. But they fell the exact same way they fell in the trailer. And when the ball left Mahomes' hand, I swear, it took like an impossible 45-degree left angle out of his hand. Like right angle. Like somehow he throws the ball, and it's like if his hand and arm movement was going towards 1 o'clock, the ball came out of his hand at like 4 o'clock. Maybe not that extreme, maybe like 3 o'clock. But I was like, what in the world? And I completed it. He somehow completed the out route. And so that's my issue, is they talk about this system that's supposed to be dynamic, compared to, where the defender's position is and yada, 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 to determine the outcome of the throw. But this play proved otherwise. It proved no matter what, the system still wanted Mahomes to complete the pass. And this is why Madden is still bad, and this is why it's still suffering. Because winning the game isn't about stick skill. It's not about football knowledge. It's about predetermined animations that decide the outcome. It worked in favor of me of the pass, but that pass should have been incomplete, or at least not left his hand and changed directions to a receiver running an out route, right? It's my biggest issue. It's because Madden doesn't feel organic. And it's hard to explain because you don't know it until you play it. But when you play like All-Pro Football or Backbreaker, it feels like your decisions have a say in the outcome. When I play Madden, I don't get that same feel. I feel like I'm passively playing. Like I'm watching, but I'm playing. So it's like I'm actively watching. I don't know. It's really hard to explain, but it gets boring. And as you guys know, here's what I'm gonna say to sum it up real quick. And this should worry you, and this should worry EA. I'm not a big channel. I don't get free releases. I don't get early releases. I don't get free copies. I just happen to get super lucky and was randomly selected from Jaguar's Twitter to receive a beta code, right? So if you're gonna pay attention to anything that I've just said, pay attention to this right here. This is a huge opportunity for me, right? And it's an exciting thing to happen. I get to play Madden super early. I was pumped. I didn't have any friends or family around me in the area during 4th of July. I'm out in Virginia. A lot of my friends are out of town, or they're in grad school in another state, so they're still out there. I don't have any family around here. So 4th of July was kind of a bummer, man, right? I don't have anybody around. It was just me. I didn't have any plans, just, chilling by myself with my dog. Not much going on, kind of sad, to be honest, right? So I get this beta code, and all of a sudden, my weekend has a purpose, right? I get to try out Madden 21. Yeah, it's the beta, but I get to play Madden 21 early. This is exciting. Guess what? I played 3 games. 3 games of Madden 21. And I was like, I'm going to play something else. It's not like, I was busy and, I had 4th of July and I was at the pool and doing all this stuff, hanging with family, so I didn't get around to playing a whole lot of games. No, I had nothing but time, and I chose that I was like, and I forced myself to play a 3rd game. I did. I really did. And I live and breathe football. It's my heart and soul. And the fact that I had nothing going on this past weekend and I would rather spend all day Saturday and Sunday playing MLB The Show and The Last of Us instead of having a limited time frame to play Madden should tell you something. All right, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed. Here's to hoping Madden 21 fixes some issues from the beta before release, and new content coming soon. Peace.